Hello everyone, this is Professor Mir Shah once again with another video under the subject auditing. The video that we're going to learn today is about types of audit. So let us see what are the various types of audits under the subject auditing. Your types of audit has been divided in three parts. Okay, first audit on the basis of authority, on the basis of rules and regulation. Okay, under that the very first type of audit is called as statutory audit. Now, what is statutory audit? A statutory audit is an audit which is compulsory under a particular statute. Statute means any law. Okay, under particular law, if the law says you have to do audit, it is called as statutory audit. The provision for conducting of the audit are prescribed in the statute. Okay, so how to conduct the audit, what to do in the audit, everything should be mentioned in that law. That is known as statutory audit. Some organizations which require audit under the law are company registered under the Governance of Company Act 2013. So if your company is registered under the Company Act, you have to do statutory audit. Banking companies governed by Banking Regulation Act. If you are a bank and if you are regulating as per the Banking Regulation Act, you have to perform statutory audit. Insurance company governed by Insurance Act, statutory audit. Local authority, government undertaking and department, anything related to government, statutory audit. All business organization having annual sales over 40 lakhs, statutory audit. So any audit which is compulsory according to some law, it is known as statutory audit. Again, a company whose turnover is more than 40 lakhs, statutory audit. Now, under statutory audit, there are few features which we need to remember. First, statutory audit is compulsory under some law. The auditor qualified to be appointed as an auditor should always be a chartered accountant. Next, appointment of auditor is made as per the law. Okay, individual board of director cannot appoint. It is appointed by the law. It is always a complete audit, full and final audit. The scope of audit is determined. Okay, how much to audit, what to audit, everything should be mentioned in the law governing that particular audit. This is known as statutory audit. That is the first type of audit on the basis of authority. So we have statutory. The second, now we jump to the second type. Second is called as non-statutory audit. Exact opposite. It is audit of small enterprises. Okay, statutory, non-statutory meaning that audit which is not compulsory. It is done based on according to the need of the enterprise. Okay, like the first type of enterprise we have the audit of small enterprises, that is sole traders and all. Audit of small enterprises generally voluntary. It is based on the the owners. If they want to do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Small enterprise includes sole traders, partnership, joint into family, etc. What are the features of audit of small enterprise? Number one, the scope. Okay, since the audit is not compulsory, the scope is determined by the owner. Owner himself will decide what to audit and what not to audit. Errors and fraud. Since the scope is decided by the proprietor, there are chances of error and fraud. He will decide what he wants to show and he doesn't want to show. Next, audit evidence. The books of account may not be kept properly under, therefore documentary evidence may not be available. Okay, there won't be proper documents available. So evidence is also bad in that case. Audit planning. Planning of audit work is very simple as there are limited and similar transactions. Okay, the person will be doing only small business. So not too many transactions, not too many, headache. Planning can be done very easily. That is audit of small partnership or small enterprise. Now we jump on to, okay, there was one more point, audit sampling. Auditor may check all or maximum number of transaction as the size of the business is small. See, if it's a small business, the maximum transaction that you will be having in a month will be, let's say, 1,000, 2,000 transaction. But if you're a big company like a Reliance or a Tata, you have millions of transactions there. So here it becomes very simple to check each and every transaction. This was audit of small enterprise. Next, we have audit of partnership firm under non-statutory. Okay. Audit of partnership firm is, since partnership is also a small enterprise, the procedure of audit of small enterprises is to be applicable to it also. The same, whatever is done in sole trader, the same activities have to be performed under partnership firm also. Features, auditors should check the partnership deed because it contains the capital contribution, PSR and all those things. Second, the appointment. The auditor should see that the appointment is as per the provision mentioned in the deed. And last, minute book. Auditor should verify that proper minute book is maintained for the meeting of the partners. This was, the second type of audit under authority. First one was statutory, second is non-statutory, which is not compulsory. Third one, we have internal audit. Okay. Now, what is internal audit? Internal audit is a review of operations and record, sometimes continuously undertaken within a business by specially designed staff. If you have a big company, okay, you have a separate department called as an account department. Under that accounts department, you will figure out few people and you'll give them a separate task that will be to keep auditing the accounts department. That is known as internal audit. Features may, it is normally done by the employees of the organization. It is a part of internal control. It is a critical review of your internal control system, and it is continuous in nature. It keeps on happening again and again on daily basis. Now, the second type of audit, we have audit on the basis of scope. On the basis of scope, we have two types of audit. Number one, complete audit. Now, what do you mean by complete audit? In complete audit, auditor is required to check each and every transaction recorded in the books of account. So complete audit means even if there are 1 million transactions done, each and every transaction will be checked. That is called as complete audit. The auditor has to check each and every voucher document relating to the transaction. So even if it is a 1 rupee transaction or a 1,000 rupee transaction or a 1 lakh rupee transaction, each and every transaction, each and every voucher will be checked under complete audit. This type of audit may be suitable for only small organization, but not possible in case of large organization. But obvious, if you have 1 million transactions, you cannot go for complete audit. Okay, but if you're a small organization, a small kirana store or something like that, then you can go for a complete audit. So under audit on the basis of scope, the first type was complete audit. Second, partial audit. In this type of audit, the auditor is not required to check each and every transaction. He may take, of the transaction, he may take few of the transaction, there's a missing word. He may take few of the transaction and then check them. Okay, something called as probability. You all have learned that in maths earlier. Okay, probability. So if I have, let's say, 100 bills to check, I will check, I will keep a percentage. I will say I'll only check 30% of that. So out of 100 bills, only 30 bills will be checked. That is known as partial audit. Next, the auditor has to state the area covered by the audit. So he has to decide, he has to state out of 100 bills, only bills which are more than 10,000 rupees, only that will be checked. So that is how he can state the area covered by the audit. This type of audit is not possible in case of statutory audit. Okay, statutory is compulsory audit. So if you are doing a compulsory audit, you have to check each and every document. Okay, but if you're a non-statutory or internal audit, then it can be done, partially also. These were the two types of audit on the basis of scope: complete audit and partial audit. Okay, did everyone get these 2 points?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now
Yes,
one
sir.
last. Now we are just coming to the last part of the lecture and the last part of the module. Audit on the basis of time. The very first on the basis of time, on the very first part is it is called as continuous audit. As the name suggests, okay, continuous meaning after every interval you are going to do auditing. So what does it include? Generally, audit begins when accounting ends. Okay, when you finish noting down all your accounting details, from that audit begin. After that, only audit begins. But the full year you are doing your accounting. At the end of the year, call the auditor and try to audit your accounting statement. But in case of continuous audit, work is carried out during the accounting period with some interval. Every month, every week, every quarterly, every half yearly. Okay, within the same year, you will keep doing auditing. It is done basically by those companies which are huge in size. At the end of the year, to do all your transaction, to record all the transaction is very difficult. So after every short interval, let's say 1 week, 1 month, the auditor will come and keep checking the accounts and auditing the accounts. The accounting and auditing is done simultaneously. The auditor visits the office of the client at regular interval and does the work of audit. The interval may be 2 or more months. Okay, at each visit, the work would be taken up from where it was left in the earlier visit. So in the first month, whatever has been recorded will be kept as recorded. In the next month, when the auditor comes, he will start from that same point where he recorded last. From there, he will continue recording the other transactions. This is known as continuous audit. Next, we have final or periodic or annual audit. Okay, now as the name suggests, audit conducted after the end of the accounting year is called final audit or periodic audit or annual audit. It is known as periodic or annual. The audit work begins after the accounting year is over. So after the previous year gets completed, the books of accounts are balanced, closed and complete. Only then your audit procedure starts. Unlike continuous audit, the auditor visits the office of the client only once, that is at the end of the accounting year. And last, he has to check all the books at that time. He may not check each and every transaction and may resort to test check. Test check means probability. Out of 100, I will only check 30. That is known as test checking. Okay, that was the second type of audit based on time. First one was continuous audit. Second is periodic, that is only once in the year. Continuous is on continuous basis. Third is interim audit. Interim matlab between two final audit you have a interim audit, a middle audit. Audit conducted between two annual audit is called interim audit. So between two annual audit, if you have one audit in between them, it is called as interim audit. It is generally conducted to find out interim profit in between the year. What is your profit? And to know your financial position of the company at the end of a certain point of time. Interim audit is conducted in the following circumstances. Number one, publication of quarterly result. If there is a company after every quarter it publishes its result, then you have to go for interim audit. If you have to provide interim dividend, okay, then you have to go for interim audit. If you are going to sell, you want to acquire or sell your business, then you have to do interim audit. And last, changes in the firm. If there are going to be some changes in the firm, like a new partner is getting admitted, or there is a partner getting retired, or death of a partner. Okay, I'm talking about a firm. So that's the reason you have to do an interim audit. So first one was continuous, that is after every interval. Then was annual, once in a year. Interim, within two annual, we have one interim audit, that is in between the two annual audit. And the last part, the last topic, concurrent audit. It means audit conducted concurrently or continuously as transactions takes place. So the moment you sell, Moment you generate a bill, on the spot you record it. That is called concurrent audit. Okay, the moment you make a bill, you record it. It is generally to be performed by the banks. The moment someone deposits the money, the moment the money goes out, on the spot recording will be done. It cannot be done for future date, so it has to be done on the spot. It is conducted to verify errors and fraud in transaction within the shortest possible time. So, the banking hours are, let's say, morning 9 to 1 or 1 or 2. After that, the bank will put down the shutters, and within the bank, all the recording of the transaction will take place. This ensures early detection of errors and fraud if there are any. Next, the internal staff is allowed to do the audit, but he should not be involved in the operation. Matlab, if you had, posted, if you have collected money, or if you are sitting at the counter of recording, someone else from your department come and sit and check, but you cannot check the account. Next, even the external auditor can be appointed for concurrent audit. You can give someone outside person also. And last point, RBI will give you guidelines for conducting of concurrent audit. Okay, so with this, audit on the basis of time also comes to an end. We started off with statutory, non-statutory, internal. Thereafter, we went complete and partial. And lastly, we came to continuous, final. The third one was interim, and thereafter concurrent audit. With this, the topic related to type of audit comes to an end. Thank you very much. Take care.